All right, hello sixth graders. What I'm going to do today is just go over this test, and the idea is to be able to share this information with you, um, which is why you're listening to it right now. And then we can see how we can do every problem. You can check to see the ones that you got wrong, even check to see the ones that you got right. Um, whatever you need to do. So this will kind of act as part of your relearning. The key thing is you'll have to be able to come back to me, explain what you did wrong on your problem, tell me what the right answer is, explain how to do it, then I'll give you your relearning activity. So we're going to start off with the first one, and what I noticed a lot of kids did wrong on number one is they tried to figure out what 3/4 of 50 is. And when we read this question, it says, suppose I realize that 3/4 ounce was enough detergent to do a load of laundry. So that every time I do one load of laundry, I'm using 3/4 of an ounce. How many loads could I do using my 50-ounce bottle of detergent? All right. So in other words, we want to find out how many 3/4 go into 50. What should have been done is 50 divided by 3/4. Now, many of us are doing this problem as 50, and then we multiply by the reciprocal 4/3. Now, the multiplication part, that's not really what I'm too worried about with most of you. 50 times 4 is 200, so top times top, bottom times bottom, okay? Now, we wouldn't say that we could do 200 thirds loads. So what we need to do is actually divide 200 divided by 3 to figure out how many loads that is. How many 3's go into 20? Well, 6 times 3 is 18, and that leaves us 2 over. We'll bring down 0. How many 3's go into 20? Again, 6, 18. We have 2 left over. Now, there's 2 options that we can do. We can keep going, in which case, if we're going to do that, we put in our decimal point, drop down the 0, and then we again see how many 3's go into 20. And you can see that's going to be repeating. The other piece that we can do is we can take this 2. We used to call the 2 a remainder and make that our numerator. And then our denominator is the number we're dividing by 2/3. So it should have been 66 2/3. Like I said, some kids multiplied here and you ended up getting less loads than ounces, even though you have less than 1 ounce that you're doing. So we have to have more loads than ounces, which is why we have 66 2/3. Okay. Problem number 2. Problem number 2 says 13.5 gallon gas tank is 4/5 full. Okay. So we can fit 13.5 gallons into our of gas into our car. Okay. But right now, our tank is only 4/5 full. How many gallons will it take to fill the tank? So what we really need to do is figure out one of two things. We could do 4/5 of 13.5, and that would tell you how much gas we actually have, which is what some kids did. But we don't want to know how much gas we have. We want to know how much gas it will take to fill the tank. So in other words, I know that we need 1/5. We need 1/5 of 13.5. And sorry, this is not working the greatest, so I just want to do this. Apologize for those of you that are patiently waiting for me. I'm trying to go as quick as I can. All right. Okay. So that's 1/5. 13.5 times 1/5. Now we need common units, so we can do 13.5. And 13 1/2 is the same thing as 26 should be 27 halves. Okay. We have to convert all mixed numbers to improper fractions when we multiply. Then we're going to multiply by 4/5 here. Okay. Now, some of us, or sorry, I'm sorry, 1/5. Don't do 4/5. How about we do 1/5? Okay. So when we get this done, we get a grand total of 27 on the top. 1/5 of 13.5 is 27 tenths. 27 tenths is the same thing as 2 7 tenths, which can be written as 2.7 gallons, or 2 7 tenths gallons. Okay, so some of you did this problem. We have some kids that multiplied by 5/4, which means they thought that they're supposed to divide. And all sorts of errors. Some kids that multiplied by 4/5, in which case that said how much gas we have, not how much gas we need. If you did find 4/5, all you need to do is take 4/5, that amount, and subtract it. Take 13.5 and subtract what 4/5 is, and you will get exactly 2.7. All right, number three. Number three, again, this is a division problem because we're trying to figure out how many 45 hundredths will go into 3 15 hundredths ounces of cinnamon. So how many 45 hundredths ounce packages of cinnamon can be made with 3 15 hundredths ounces of cinnamon? Okay, so in other words, we're going to be repeatedly taking out this 0.45. And we're going to just figure out how many total packages we can get in. That is a division problem. And since I'm dividing, I'm going to be dividing by this number right here. I'm going to move the decimal. I'm going to make it 45. And that means I need to move this here. And it should be 315 divided by 45. Okay? Now, when I do this, I look at the 4 and this 31 and say, how many 4s will go into 31? I know that 4 times 8 is 32. So my first guess, or what I'm going to try, is times 7. 45 times 7. I get 28 plus 3 more. Gives me, wow, it's 315 right on the nose. So we put 7 here, 315 here. We subtract, we have 0. We should have 7 packs for that one. Okay. On my next problem, some of you did 4 times 3, and the main mistake kids made, have to convert to improper. 4 1/6 is 25/6, and we're going to multiply that by a grand total of 18 fifths. And hopefully, we can cross cancel. I know that 6 and 18 share common factors of 6, so I'm going to take out that common factor. 5 and 25 share a common factor of 5, so I'm going to take out that 5, and I should get a grand total of 15 here. Okay, if you just multiplied, you'd end up with a big number over 30, and I promise you 30 times 15 is what that number is. So there we go. Number 5, a lot of us did not follow the order of operations. We did 4.5 subtract 11.2. Okay, can't do that. We have to actually do all of this part first. Okay, which means I need to do exponents, 11.2, and I need to divide that by 8. So 11.2 divided by 8. 8 goes in here 1 time, and I end up with 32 left over. 8 goes into 32 4 times. So this whole value right here is equal to 1.4. And now I just have to take 4.5 and subtract 1.4, and I should get 3.1. Okay. Then on the last one, a stock changed by $5.70 per day for 4 days. 4 days. So in other words, $5.70 times 4. We should get a grand total of 20. That's 5 times 4, and 4 times 0.7 is 2.8. Okay, so I have a grand total of 22.8 that I have to discount. Okay, and you guys are patiently waiting outside. I do not appreciate when kids pound on my door, so please don't do that. I'll never answer. Okay, so if we start at 55 is what it says, and then it dropped those 4 days. This is the total amount it dropped for 4 days. 54 and 100 here. So this is 20, and 4 subtract 2 is 2. We should have $32.20. And now when we add, now after that, it went up 32.20 plus 22.75. And many kids will notice that they were very close. They might have been off one digit, $54.95. So we actually only went down 5 cents over that whole time. There's my answer. So as you guys retake, as you guys are doing this, make your corrections first, bring them back to me. I'll give you the retake or the relearning material, and then we should be good to go.